this telethon ends. So, Jamie.
Uhuru, Jesse, I think that was a fantastic summation. This has been an incredibly mobilizing webathon, telethon, whatever you want to call it. And especially what you described about the whirlwind tour of the African Revolution and the Uhuru movement and the Uhuru Solidarity movement in particular. It was incredibly heartening, especially for someone who doesn't go on planes as often as other folks. I don't get a chance to make it to every USM convention in St. Louis or Philadelphia or wherever it's being held. So to be able to see the scope of this movement, the depth, the breadth, the dynamism, it was just incredible. I think too often I know that I underestimate the power of this organization and our role in it. And I have really just stripped away the blinders from my eyes through this process, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. And I would gamble that many of you out there feel the same. This was an emotional process. This was deeply moving, deeply inspiring, and I feel prepared to head into the next year.
Me too.
Triple commitment to make reparations and revolution and self-determination for African people a reality in our lifetime, in the chairman's lifetime.
Yes, Uhuru. So I wanted to ask if anybody else in the room would like to come on and say something. Before we close out, we have a great studio audience.
We do.
They've been awake for quite a while. So we'd like to ask you to come join us.
Come share your bleary eyes with us.
Jackson Hollingsworth is coming back. Let's hear it for Jackson.
Uhuru.
I just want to say it's been such a thrill, such an honor to be a part of this historic event, this 24-hour, the first 24-hour webathon for reparations, and to salute everyone that Chair Jesse mentioned, the chairman, of course, Deputy Chair, Director Akile, Chimurenga, and everyone of the African People's Socialist Party, African People's Solidarity Committee, and USM. What Jamie, you just said about seeing all these different aspects of the movement, and to know that that is not everything, and it's only just is the surface of what this movement is doing, every single day and moving forward every single day. And even though this was a 24-hour webathon, this movement is actually growing and thriving, every single minute of every single day around the world. And it's been such a pleasure and an honor to be a part of this today. And it's not too late to keep going to blackpowerblueprint.org and to share this video far and wide, and to message it to someone you know, and continue raising reparations. The Black Power Blueprint. Uhuru.
I have news for you all. I want to give a special salute and shout out to Johan Benningfield, who just pledged $272. We just raised $6,000 for the Black Power Blueprint. Uhuru!
Comrade Johan.
There we go. $6,000. Keep it going. Unity through
Reparations.
Unity through
Reparations.
Uhuru. Solidarity. Solidarity.
Not charity.
All right. Reparations Tuesday.
Uhuru.
Yes.
This is an institution now. This will not be the last time you see us doing this.
Now we can say the first time we did our 24-hour telethon, we raised $6,000. What a nice number. And you know what? If you want to make it 6,010 or 6,100, we won't complain. You can keep donating, blackpowerblueprint.org. But thank you, Johan, for bringing us right to the top of our goal today. We really want to appreciate you and everybody who contributed. We had so many amazing donors over the course of this webathon, telethon, and I would like to name some of them. I would like to thank some of them. Jonathan Desmond, Alana Woods, Chris Ward, Brooks Bowen, Mads Ambrose, Janet Van Fleet, Sandra Forrest, Jim and Diana Oleskovich, Deborah Warren, or Faux Feet, Tamagadini, twice. Declan, Michelle Chernowski, Daniel Georges, Jackson Hollingsworth, Renee Nassar and Kota, Diane Tournay, Annie Sarachan, Allison Haney, Janice Kant, Suchas, Pete Yarashuk, Janice Kant again, Virginia Wilson, Isoke Kenyatta, Maureen Wagner, John Harrison, Casey Mackey, Akile Anai, Ngone Aw, Penny Hess, Elizabeth Ryan, Grady Brown, Johan Bedingfield, Sean Neville. Wow, that was a long time ago. I remember that. That was like 20 hours ago. Yeah, that's my brother. So that was great.
Uhuru, Sean.
Raya Fogarty, Kristen Forthen, Raya Fogarty's neighbor, former doctor, brother, mother, person who lives down the hall. Everybody Raya knows. And that brings us to the end of our list, I think. So that's what a list. Wow, that's an amazing group of people. We want to salute you all. You made it happen. $6,000 for the Black Power Blueprint from our 24-hour telethon. Uhuru. That is so powerful. We salute your stand for reparations to African people, for African self-determination. And I was wondering if anybody else in the room is interested in saying anything at this time, perhaps, maybe?
Anyone we might want to...
All right, we're very honored to be joined by the Director of Agitation and Propaganda, Akile Anai. Uhuru. You can guys, everybody stay back here.
All right.
Let's make a little crowd back here.
Okay.
Uhuru.
Oh, I'm just
Oh,
taking
oh,
Anything you want to say?
It's been a long night. Well, first I just really want to salute the Uhuru Solidarity Movement on this tremendous feat of a 24-hour webathon, which is a little bit different from a telethon, but 24-hour webathon where I literally sat here and watched this comrade, Jesse Neville, stay up here the entire time to deliver this incredible program that we witnessed today. And it is the first reparations 24-hour webathon that ever happened in the world. So I just want to salute the Uhuru Solidarity Movement for this just incredible event, and I'm really excited to see it become something that we, as Jamie said, become an institution, something that we establish on, basically much more a frequent basis, I would say. And I think that it's really important to be able to do this because, one, we see how successful it has been in regards to, just raising reparations and, to the really important economic project of the Black Power Blueprint, but even to raise up the reparations demand. For 24 hours, we talked about reparations to African people, and we talked about the practical evidence of reparations in the real world and what what's the necessary stands for white people to take in this period. And we talked about how this is not something we have to wait on, but this is something that we can be involved in right now. And that this whole process has been a part of redefining what reparations is, and that is extremely critical because the ruling class is attempting to hijack this discussion about reparations because of where it is the people are moving towards. So because of the party's work over, starting in, for nearly 50 years, but the reparations work really kicking off in the 80s and has, continued ever since. The party's existence in the world, pushing reparations and raising reparations up as a revolutionary demand, has forced the ruling class to have to deal with this question. And if the ruling class, left to its own devices, is able to define reparations for the people, then it will be confused by some type of welfare or charity check. And, where we're saying that, reparations is a part of the struggle for African revolution. It's about returning the stolen resources and returning them back to African people so that we are able to pave the way for our own future, a liberated future, and that there's a role for white people to play in this process, white people who are affected by the social system and don't see a future in this system anymore, that the correct, most just stance to take is solidarity with the African community in the form of reparations to African people, and not something just a matter of well-wishing or anything like that, but material solidarity, a genuine commitment to this struggle. And I think that just to be able to have done that for 24 hours, and our first time doing something like this, and for it to even have gone, and obviously there were, hiccups and things like that, even technologically speaking, but I think that, for the first time doing this, it was pretty smooth. And we had to consider we broadcasted from 2 different places, and we had to deal with the limitations that even, the social media sites, have with the amount of time you can run a stream and all kinds of stuff. We had to deal with all of those things. Because we're such we're an international organization, we wanted to be able to feature, our comrades from around the world, and to be able to talk about all the work that we do in the U.S. alone. And so we wanted to be able to put Oakland on full display, Portland, Boston, Philadelphia, obviously St. Louis, all on full display, so people could see what the African People's Socialist Party with the Uhuru movement is really about, because we're beyond the talking game. We mean what we say. And the whole theme of unity of theory and practice has just been discussed throughout this whole process, because that's what it's going to take. And we intend to lead by example, and to say that we don't just call ourselves socialists, and we don't just say we are in favor of reparations, and we don't just say these things about ourselves to feel good, but we say these things because we're doing them, and we're showing the world how it's done. So I just think it was absolutely tremendous, and I was really happy to be a part of it, every second of it, because I just seeing the dynamism of the program, and just to say that, the party, and you get to put all this stuff that even 24 hours is not enough to be able to capture everything. It is not. You're talking about near 50-year history and more, because you consider the life of Chairman Amalia Shatella. That is in itself, you could hold a 24-hour webathon and more about the life of Chairman Amalia Shatella, and his brilliant leadership, and this tremendous force that exists on this earth, that has literally provided the theory that is going to transform the world. And that is just no small thing. But even while we were having this 24-hour webathon, the party's engaged in incredible work, like the institution's still functioning. We're still, I'm here as the Agitprop director, but Agitprop's still functioning, and all the Uhuru Solidarity Movement still functioning, and all of the work that we have to do is still being carried out. So all of these things are still happening while we're in the process of having this discussion. Even today in St. Louis, while we were raising reparations, there was construction happening right on the right on the area where the One Africa, One Nation Marketplace is going to be, right across the street from the Uhuru House on West Florissant. So just incredible to be able to put the party out on full display like this. I think the program was absolutely brilliant. I think that what also we were able to tap into is the tremendous talent of African people, and the talent that bursts through revolution, which is that's what this movement gives us the ability to do, is to tap into all this stuff that we didn't even know we had in us. I also really want to salute, not for any biased reasons or anything, but just everybody who had to carry out a technological aspect of this event, because it is no small thing to make sure that this thing can go out without hiccups. And I know Casey and forces on the ground in St. Louis were dealing with the broadcast there, And in St. Petersburg, I just really want to appreciate Temba and Kyle for giving me an on-the-ground training of this live stream software, which I did not know how to operate before this thing started.
That's amazing.
And now I'm able to do it. So,
Yes.
yeah, so much stuff happened on today. And I know I probably overtalked it, but.
No, keep going. Got 30 minutes.
Okay, well, yes, I just think it was incredible and just another victory for the African People's Socialist Party. I want to, also encourage people to donate to blackpowerblueprint.org, where Tuesday might be over, but reparations it doesn't stop on Tuesday, December 3rd. We keep this thing going till it's won. So yeah, there's no cap. You guys can continue to donate and support this amazing project, this anti-colonial, anti-capitalist project happening right in the heart of the African working class community in St. Louis, which is going to be the example for, and we even heard from the comrade in London about how the blueprint, the Black Power blueprint, in the Black Power blueprint is the blueprint for, the trajectory for the rest of the world. So, you guys have to support this project, Black Power Blueprint. If you've already done it, if you already donated, donate again if you had the ability to, because this project has to be completed. It has to achieve everything that it's supposed to, and we're confident that we're able to do that. And I think we just saw this brilliant example of being able to raise $6,000, today or over the last 24 hours. I want to salute my leadership, Chairman Amali Eshatella. I want to salute Deputy Chair Onasne Eshatella, the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party. I wanted to be able to remind people about the party's plenary coming up February 1st through the 3rd. You guys can register at apspplenary.org. The theme is Vanguard Up, Unity of Theory and Practice, where a lot of the discussions and workshops and panels we talked today we can be able to do more in-depth at this really important plenary happening in St. Petersburg, Florida, right here in Aquaba Hall. So I really want to encourage everybody to come, be a part of this, just because history is being made, and you have to be a part of it. You have to come see it for yourself. You have to join. You have to, make your mark in this world by, taking up a place in this movement. Your place is right here. You want to change the world, this is where it's going to happen. We're changing the world every single day. Right as we have this discussion, the world is being changed by the work of the African People's Socialist Party, by this movement, the Uhuru movement. You have to be a part of that. And it's going to be all on full display come the APSP plenary. That is the 2020 plenary following the 7th Congress of the African People's Socialist Party, which we had in October of 2018. So, we get to see all of the work that we've done over the year and how we are implementing the political report that was, was given to us by the chairman that our party voted on to carry out. We get to see where we are according to that political report. And this is also just the practical evidence of, unity of theory and practice that the political reports and, following the political report and figuring out how to solve the problems of the revolution and to figure out how to carry out what is being laid out in the political report, we were able to put all that on full display. And that is just the example of, taking this brilliant theory of African internationalism and making it work out in the real world, which is something only the party is doing. So I just wanted to, make sure you guys register for our party's plenary, February 1st through the 3rd. You guys can do that at apspplenary.org. St. Petersburg, Florida. You do not want to miss it. Vanguard Up, Unity of Theory and Practice. Uhuru.
Vanguard up.
Vanguard up.
Uhuru. Thank you, Director Kile. So we are joined by someone who has been behind the scenes for the last 24 hours. This is Amanda Carlozzi. Amanda Carlozzi is the Vice Chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement and our National Treasurer, and has also been calculating all of the contributions coming in for the last 24 hours with help from Ali Aiello. So, Uhuru, Amanda.
Uhuru.
So what'd you think?
Well, I thought it was amazing. I agree. We definitely have to do it again every single year, and I'm just blown away by all of the support. I mean, to raise over 6,000, it's actually 6,003 now. Thank you, Johan. But to raise that within the 24 hours is amazing. And then on top of that, to have over 60 people doing these online Facebook fundraisers for a PDF, many of which are still active. So we know that the donations are going to be coming in from the work that, you know, all of you are doing to build your own fundraiser. And I'm just, you know, we see when Deputy Chair was talking earlier about how they had a strict deadline. I think it was 8 months to get the Uhuru House up and running to actually have their first event with the Black is Back Coalition. And the resources that were raised for that, it instantly went to work, like Director Akile was saying. Even during this telethon, there was work happening across the street for the marketplace. So as soon as your donations hit the bank, they're going to go immediately to the projects. You're going to be able to see the effects of what this telethon has done, what all of you have done, almost instantaneously. So that's really incredible. You know, and the end of the year is a great time to give back. So I know it's going to keep going, and I'm just really blown away by all of the support.
Uhuru. Right. James, take it away.
Well, are we taking it away?
No, you take it away from me because I can't make full sentences. But go ahead. I probably could if I tried.
I'm really blown away, Comrade Chair Jesse, by yourself, by you, Amanda, by Director Akile, by Jackson Hollingsworth, all of these comrades taking this absolute cadre stance to make this webathon happen. I mean, it could not have happened without cadre. And I'm just in awe of the power of the people and the power of humanity. The number of people.
Hold on one second.
We have an incoming.
Uhuru, Chairwoman Penny Hess, we are still on the air. Would you like to say something? I'm going to bring you on. How about that? You can make a statement. Okay.
All right.
All right. Here's Chairwoman Penny Hess calling in from St. Louis. Uhuru Penny.
Great, amazing day. I mean, I just being here in St. Louis, I just loved this whole day. This was a celebration of the Uhuru movement, of the African People's Socialist Party. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
And I mean, everybody did a great job. I want to salute USM, Comrade Jesse. It was an incredible day. I loved it. I was just like doing every day.
Yes, I know.
It was such a victory to have the entire movement as much as possible. Director Akile was saying, in a certain way, it's just the tip of the iceberg, but so much of our movement visible, participating, such a celebratory day. It was an incredible interview with the chairman and deputy chair, and over here, just Kacharwa from the party was amazing. And I want to salute Comrade KC, who did an amazing job in putting this together. And just raising the resources, bringing in the reparations, and just a tremendous outpouring from so many comrades and supporters. So this has been an incredible victory. Yes, definitely has to be a tradition, an institution, something that we certainly do every year and maybe even more often. So I just want to salute all of you over in St. Pete and Uhuru Solidarity Movement and just say the party is winning, and there's definitely the reality of unity through reparations.
Definitely.
Uhuru comrades.
Uhuru, Chairwoman Penny, salute to you and salute to all of the comrades in St. Louis. It was amazing. It was an incredible honor to,
yes, it was.
to be on with
really
you.
Was.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. Chairwoman Penny Hess.
All right, that was a great surprise to be joined by Chairwoman Penny.
Fantastic.
And we said we were going to be on for 24 hours, so we're going to be on for 24 hours, right?
Yes, we
got
are.
23 more minutes on the clock, and let's see what we can do in those last 23 minutes. Go to blackpowerblueprint.org and put in your last-minute contribution before we close out this telethon. Webathon. Thank you.
Webathon.
All right.
International Webathon.
International
Yes.
Webathon. That's right. So I want to talk about. Let's have a listen once again. We started off yesterday morning, whatever that was, with the Reparations song by Jackson and Morgan Hollingsworth. So let's take another listen to close out this amazing Webathon. Here is the newest version of Reparations Now.
We know that we've been lied to. There's two realities. There's the one that we've been raised in, and the one we pretend we don't see. We don't want the guilt, but our lives are built on murder, rape, and theft. To pretend is not an option now. We wonder what is left. Genocide is raging on without an end in sight. We shut down lots of highways. We hashtag every night. But every 18th hour we see white power kill Africans and go free.
You know, one person we forgot to thank is Morgan Hollingsworth.
Yes.
Let's give a huge shout out and salute to Morgan Hollingsworth, who, along with Jackson here, is responsible for that beautiful anthem of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement that we just heard. I love it. It's amazing. Jamie, it looks like you jotted down an idea you had.
Well,
during
yeah.
the song.
As I was listening to it, I couldn't help seeing this kind of internal montage of all the work that the African People's Solidarity Committee, that the African People's Socialist Party, the Uhuru Solidarity Movement has done over the past 50 years to get to where we are now. And even just in the past 5 years, with the growth of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement across the this U.S. borders and internationally, if we could have some kind of music video that would go along with this song.
That'd be
Plenary ideas, plenary workshop ideas to be discussed. Spoiler.
discuss.
Simply put, it rocks.
It does.
It rocks, and it is gorgeous.
It is. It's amazing.
And I just wanted to make sure also that I don't think we thanked Mads and Marissa in Portland.
You're right.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Director Keeley mentioned having Portland
Yeah.
on, so I want to make sure that we give those
Let's
comrades a
do
big
that.
shout out too.
Great.
That was a great interview.
Thank you, comrades.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's an honor to build the culture of reparations in any
Yeah.
and every way.
Absolutely.
In every city in this world.
Yeah, that I agree. I'm glad you mentioned that. That was a really powerful interview. Mads Ambrose, Marissa Ricchetti from Portland. We were able to speak with them, and it's true that what Director Keeley said, that while this was 24 hours, it was really a snapshot of the Uhuru movement, and the Africa Hour, is something that next time we would be able to hopefully even speak to members of the African People's Socialist Party who live in occupied Azania and who are currently working to build the vision of Chairman Omali Shatella on the ground on the continent of Africa. There's so much else, even within just the Uhuru Solidarity movement. Seattle and New York and so many other places where we have members who are active and who were actually involved in yesterday, whatever, the last 24 hours of reparations work that we didn't really get to feature in this telethon. So we learned a lot from it, and I'm so glad it was a success. And now it's definitely not an option to not do this again. We're definitely going to do it again. We're going to keep doing it at least once a year, maybe more. So anything else anybody wants to say before we close out?
It's not too late to go to blackpowerblueprint.org if you have not already, or if you would like to do so again, because reparations now.
Uhuru. I unite. I just want to echo what everyone has said in saluting the African People's Socialist Party, Chairman Omali Shatella, Deputy Chair Ona Zane Shatella, the African People's Solidarity Committee, Uhuru Solidarity Movement, all the comrades here. And I want to say that this process was surprisingly fun.
It was very fun.
This was, as
Surprisingly.
chairman. I mean, I knew.
24-hour telethon, Jamie. You got to be there. Didn't sound like much fun, but
I knew it would be exciting, but I was blown away by the camaraderie here,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the intimacy that we're experiencing in uniting with reparations, not only in this room but throughout the country and throughout the world. That we had someone from the UK. Both interviewing comrades doing work for reparations on the ground in London, and someone who donated.
We had viewing parties. We had at least Philadelphia. They had an event in Boston, and there might have been other ones as well. We had people doing offline fundraisers like Declan in New York, Raya Fogarty's friends and family that she spoke to. So there was a lot going on, and a lot more than I've said actually. And we'll be able to do a full summation of this when we pull together all the different threads of Reparations Tuesday that were out there. And we raised more than we announced, let me put it that way, because there was a lot going on multiple fronts. This was the epicenter of it, but it was emanating outward, and it was creating. It's what we wanted. We wanted to create a huge, massive wave of reparations activity revolving around Reparations Tuesday, and specifically this Webathon. So it was a great success.
Uhuru, it really was, and that's the way that the African People's Socialist Party has always operated in waves like that, and it's difficult to get the full breadth of what's going on, which is why it's so necessary to continue to do this, so that we can highlight that, put it front and center, and make sure that we all understand exactly how powerful this movement is, how vast it is, and how absolutely it is going to change the world.
It is already changing the
It
world.
is already changing,
Changing
the
the
world. Yes, African people are winning.
Uhuru. Amanda, anything else you wanted to say before we adjourn this meeting?
Nope. I just thought it was an amazing 24 hours, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. Uhuru.
All right, Uhuru. Okay, so I got a few little announcements I'd like to make. So on February 1st through the 3rd, this was mentioned already, the African People's Socialist Party's plenary conference is happening here in St. Petersburg, Florida. You have to be there. It's going to be called Vanguard Up, Unity of Theory and Practice. We heard about that from Director Akile. So you can go to apspplenary.org and register and read the chairman's call. We read that as well as part of the Webathon. So read the call, register, make your plans, be here for the plenary. It's going to be incredible. And on April 18th and 19th in St. Louis, the Uhuru Solidarity Movement will be holding its national convention. And we want to invite you to be there. Join us in the amazing Aquaba Hall in St. Louis for our national convention there. This will be the third one we will have held in St. Louis. And this is going to be the biggest and best USM convention ever. So please join us. We will have just wrapped up a organizing tour that we're going to be starting in January, a regional organizing tour. And this is also an announcement. If you're located anywhere, which you are, somewhere, please contact us if you'd like us to come build an event in your city. We will literally get in the car and drive to you, or get in a plane or on a bus or whatever we have to do to get to you, because we have organizers in every region of the United States. So somebody will come meet with you, hold an event in a cafe, in a library, in a classroom, or in your living room. Bring your friends and family together. We'll show a PowerPoint, we'll show a video, we'll make a presentation. If we can even bring a member of the African People's Socialist Party, we would obviously be honored to try to do that. And this is something we want to do. We're going to be calling every single one of our hundreds of members to ask everyone to host an event like this. And we want to have a regional traveling organizing tour starting in January. So you can contact info@uhurusolidarity.org if you're interested in getting involved in that. The other thing I wanted to ask Jackson to announce is something that is going to be coming to you soon, known up to now as the Solidarity Spear Study, but soon to be revamped as
Why White People Should Study the Burning Spear newspaper, Reparations Study Group.
Uhuru.
Thursdays at 7 p.m. starting December 12th. Yes.
All right, so that's going to be very exciting, and we're going to be studying the platform of the African People's Socialist Party. So please join us, and that's going to be something really important that we want to build every single Thursday. We're going to engage in ideological discussion so that we can all become better African internationalists, because study is key, theory and practice. We can study, understand the theory, and then put it into practice. That's how it works. So I think that's pretty much it, and I just want to once again thank everybody. A little music to close us out here. I want to bring everyone back here. We've had a great Webathon crew.
Happy Reparations Wednesday!
Reparations Wednesday. I don't know if we're still with a shot here.
Forward to Reparations 2020.
All right. Unity through
Reparations!
Uhuru!